This segment is to give an overview of the property selected. Property is approximately 10 acres in size, located on a ridge line, flat plateaued ridge line in northeast Oklahoma. As we walk through this to kind of help facilitate it, I'm going to shut off all of the regrowth. Most of this property is currently forested with 20 to 30 year regrowth, mainly oaks, some red buds, walnuts, some other things like that. So we'll shut that off and make it a little bit easier to look at the design elements that we're more interested in. So let me zoom in and rotate. So as you come into the property, you can see the main access road is on the center of the ridge line to reduce the impacts, water flowing. To the right of this, you have a swell help catch the runoff from the road. This well runs approximately from the house down to this point over here. Consists of a lot of the high quality timbers that can be grown in this area if done properly. Your black walnuts, black cherries, your hickories, many different nut trees can be grown in this. The soil on this property, there really isn't much soil. It consists of a lot of clay and chert stone, not very high quality. This area was completely cut approximately 20 to 30 years ago and hasn't had a lot of time to rebuild much soil, and I don't think it ever had much soil to begin with in this area. So as you come in a little bit closer, coming off this well to the right, you have an orchard area here with all your fruit trees, smaller nut trees with some legumes mixed in, just to kind of help make up for the poor soil in this area. As we come over here, you have a storage shed kind of off to the back. You have a concrete pad here. On this concrete pad that currently exists on this property, you have a small sawmill. You have a tractor hooked up to a generator so you can help run the high draw electrical equipment. This area does have so much timber on it that this tractor system has been designed with the wood gasification system to help run the tractor, just to better utilize the resources on the property. As we move closer through the house, this house is described in other segments. You have another garden shed here. These beds right here are your raised beds for your kitchen garden. More of your annuals, vegetables, crops like that. More heavily maintained than the other areas. Behind them you have your main crop area. You do a lot more with your perennials. Maybe some small grains, but this property doesn't yield itself too much for grain production. Behind it you can have an edible hedge to kind of help redirect the wildlife. Not that it'll keep it out, but just to help direct it. You also have another edible hedge to the east of the property. As we work our way back, you can see here's the rain storage barrels. Due to the amount of rain that's received on this property, it's over 40 inches a year, and the size of the roof, you can store a considerable amount of rainwater on this property. Kind of coming over here, you have your herb spiral, a hugelkultur bed, help with your edible shrubs and other perennial plants. You have a greenhouse here. It does have an extension on the back that can be used to help allow the chickens to come in during the colder months of the year. You have your chicken tractor here, compost, hog pen here. Chickens can help keep this warmer. Inside of this you can do your overwinter crops. Water chestnut do a little bit better here inside of a greenhouse due to the colder temperatures during the winter. The chickens can just help keep that warm and provide a better environment for them. On top there's 3 small ponds located on these locations. The system would be set up so that any excess storage beyond what these 3 tanks can hold would drain over to this pond. underground. And that way you have easy access for water to the chickens and to the hogs. The hogs, it's set up to allow them to do paddock feeding back in the forest. There's large oaks in this area, well, many oaks in this area, so acorn fed hogs, so get a very high quality meat. You have an area over here where you can set up trees, black locust, some oaks, specifically for cospicing, help with firewood gathering, because there are rocket mass heaters in this house design, and make it much closer just to store the firewood for the house. Less work to go on. Back a little bit further, but not too far from the house, you have your top bar beehives. Far enough away that they're not bothered by your day-to-day activities, but close, very close to your garden, help go through your whole property. Running along the east and the west side of this ridge are swells, help catch the runoff. Due to this flat nature of this plateau, they don't have to be very tall to catch much water. And continue to have the same similar species of trees, your black cherries, your walnuts, although you do have to space your walnuts out due to their allelopathic nature. But you have your understory edible trees over here. Coming off to the east of the property in this creek, this is a seasonal creek, mainly runs in when the storms come. There is a narrow neck here, and this can be accessed. A small tractor excavator can come up this valley to reach this point. To build this small dam here, create about a 4 or 5 foot deep fish pond. Creates a fairly large area for the size of the dam. Due to the runoff, this can have between 8 and 10 inches of rain in a 24-hour period during its 100-year rainfalls. So it's been designed as a weir style dam. Has about a 4-to-1 slope on the back, just to help ensure that there's enough flow over the area. And there's also not very much room for a spillway in this location. This segment is to kind of give you an overview of what it would feel like coming through this property once it's been developed. You can see you have your swells off to your right. We'll just come through the main access. Just kind of walk through the property so you can see it. Here's the tractor, and here's the wood gasification and the generator that was referenced in another segment. And there's the woodshed to run the wood gasification for the tractor. Go through, give you an idea of kind of what it would feel like to be in the house. Here's the battery backup bank. You come out your back door, you have your wood pizza oven, your outdoor kitchen area. Since it is so warm during so much of the year, help reduce the heat inside of the house. And you have your very large water storage. And as mentioned earlier, these first beds would be your kitchen garden beds, and then all these back here would be your main crops, your more perennials. You have your food hedge running through there. You have your little hugelkultur bed running right here, and your herb spiral. Here's the greenhouse. It has a straw bale construction to help insulate it, but it does have a stucco lining on the inside. This section, this corner over here, can be used. An entrance can be made for the chickens to give them a spot to come into during the coldest periods of the month to help the greenhouse and to help the chickens. Over to one of the little ponds. Feed the fish, see if they're hungry today. Yep, they're still hungry. Got your pig pen over here. Compost. Having the pigs here allows you to let them roam back in the oak woods, so you can get real high quality meat out of your pigs and reduce your feed costs. You have a chicken tractor that can be run around here, around the property in the areas necessary. Come back here. Here are your top bar beehives and your other secondary pond. We'll just take a stroll along one of the swales, just kind of show you kind of what it looks like coming through here. Due to there being so much lumber, so many trees on the property right now, opening up these areas for these swales would not be a loss. So we'll go walk our way back the swell, back down the swell, show you where the spillway is for this swell, and then take you down to the fish pond down in the bottom of the property. So this section right here is where the water spills off. And as you can see, once you leave this main plateau, it does get very steep. A lot of these steep slopes can be managed to a degree. Low management, if you can establish some trees back in here, use the current forests to kind of nurture the trees, and then you can slowly cycle out the lower quality timbers for what you desire. And here would be the fish pond, only 4 to 5 feet deep back in here.